welcome to the championship matchup of the best take bracket. It's been quite the ride. This is the last metaphorical dance virtually from a social distance as we wrap up a month and a half of this bracket. And some of you packed your bags and you left us a long time ago. But for those of you who are still riding with us, you know what? We salute you and your commitment to watching poorly produced and takes the last 90 days or so, or 80 days, 60 days, 50 days, however long it's been, 35 days. I don't even know anymore. But here we go. Championship round, Larry versus Jerry. And couldn't think of a better rhyme myself than Larry versus Jerry. And please be sure to vote on who had the best take, who is the greatest of all time at their position.
Jerry Rice is the greatest receiver of all time because he did it all. He holds dozens of records, many that will probably never be broken. He won multiple championships, an MVP award, 10-time first-team All-Pro, and there are less than 30 wide receivers in the Hall of Fame, and Jerry Rice is one of only 6 to make it on the first ballot.
Jerry Rice is the greatest wide receiver ever because he's the best all-around receiver. He had the best hands, he ran great routes, he had speed, and he played on one of the best teams ever. He had Super Bowls.
Listen, wherever Jerry Rice is right now, he's open. When we're talking about not just the greatest wide receiver of all time, but a guy that makes a short list of best football players of all time. Changed the game, the West Coast offense, those 49er teams don't happen without Jerry, and he changed football.
Jerry Rice is the greatest receiver of all time because he made a good quarterback look like an all-star quarterback for his entire career.
Larry Bird is the greatest small forward ever for many reasons. You know all of his history with the Boston Celtics, but let's not forget Indiana State makes him undefeated, takes him all the way to the NCAA championship before they lose to Michigan State and start the rivalry with Magic Johnson. The ability to go undefeated, advance further than any team ever has in their first appearance in the NCAA tournaments is quite the accomplishment and makes Bird the best small forward ever.
Why is Larry Bird Larry Legend? It's because in 1978, the Boston Celtics took Larry Bird in the top 10 of the draft, knowing full well that Larry Bird was probably going to go back to school for another year, and sure enough, that is what he did. But the Celtics knew that Larry Bird was such a life-changing player that they wanted to make sure that they got a hold of him, even if they had to wait a full year until he could join their team. Michael Jordan, definitely didn't happen. LeBron could have been taken in the 7th grade by the Cavs. No, they waited all the way until he was 19 years old to be able to come into the NBA. That is why Larry Bird is the greatest of all time.
Larry Bird got so bored of being so much better than everyone else that he decided to play a game mostly left-handed, scored 47 points, sent it to overtime, then hit the game winner. Oh, and he's the only person in NBA history to be Rookie of the Year, MVP, Finals MVP, All-Star MVP, Coach of the Year, and Executive of the Year.
Larry Legend. Larry Bird is the greatest power forward of all time because he invented the shooting forward position. If it weren't for him, there wouldn't be guys like this guy right here. He's in the 50-40-90 club exclusive. He won the first 3 three-point shooting contests. By the way, that third one he won in his warm-up jacket without taking a single shot prior to. Not to mention all the championships, not to mention the MVPs. And on top of all of this, this is a discount version of Larry Bird since he fractured his hand and never was the same after it, even before entering the league. Larry, legend, can't be touched.
And we'll see you maybe never again with all of us doing this bracket, but maybe we'll surprise you and come up with something in the future. So stay tuned. But vote. Thanks again for participating this last quarantine on the best take bracket.